High Noon in Westchester. Live from Whitney Media, 1460 WVOX. This is High Noon with Journal News star featured columnist Phil Reisman and sidekick Buddy Waller. Join Phil and his guests at 914-636-0110. It's High Noon in Westchester. And now, here's Journal News star featured columnist Phil Reisman.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What a great introduction. That's a new one.
Yes.
We love that, don't we, buddy?
Indeed.
All
yes.
right.
Yes.
Well, as the man said, this is Phil Reisman, and this is High Noon, and welcome. I've been off for a couple of weeks, but we're back again, and for our weekly radio show here on WVOX 1460 on your AM dial.
Yes. Hello, Westchester and the world beyond on the internet.
And, of course, that's the voice of none other than Buddy Waller,
Yes.
who is a copy editor extraordinaire. And as our listeners know, they may have forgotten since we haven't been on for 2 weeks.
Yes.
That there was a time when you were walking down the street with a thorn in your paw. I pulled it out, and you've been following me around ever since, and into the radio station. And here you are. But anyway, good to see you again, buddy.
Yes.
And today we're going to be talking to right now Dan Schor, who is a Republican former assistant district attorney in Westchester County, who is running for district attorney for the prosecutor's office against the incumbent candidate, Janet DiFiore.
Yes.
And I know it's only August
Of 2008.
2008, and this is an election that's coming up in 2009.
In November 2009, yes.
But Dan, welcome to the show. And
thanks for having me.
I appreciate your coming. And but you're already out there announcing that you're a candidate. So.
Absolutely. It's a big county. There's a lot of issues. You know, people may not be focused on the actual election in 2009 yet, but they are focused on the issues that are at stake there, whether their homes are safe from burglars, whether if they're a victim of domestic violence, whether they could be safe from their abusers. And that doesn't go away even if it's not an election year.
So we're, 15 months away?
About 15 months.
So what are you going to do in 15 months to fill up the time in your, that's a lot of campaigning.
Well, there's a lot to do. I think the district attorney is the most important job in Westchester County. If you're not safe, if you don't have an effective head law enforcement officer of the county, nothing else in your life is safe. You can't worry about the economy, your business, your family. So there's a lot of important issues to tackle. I know I'm a political newcomer, so there's a lot of people I want to meet and talk with before the election.
Yeah. May I ask how old you are?
I'm 35 years old.
Young man. My father used to always say 35 was the best age for men. That it's a great turning point in your life at that age.
It's pretty good.
But that was when 35 was like a 50-year-old. So I don't know. Anyway, so that's so you've had a lot of experience as an assistant district attorney. Can you describe that, Dan? What you did while you worked here in the county, and we'll go through your background on it.
Sure, absolutely. First of all, I went to law school for just one reason: to be a prosecutor.
Where did you go?
I went to Harvard Law School.
Harvard Law.
And
you were kicked out of Harvard Law, weren't you?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay. I went there to be a prosecutor. That was always my passion. And out of law school, I worked first in the Queens District Attorney's Office. I specialized in the prosecution of domestic violence, sex crimes, and child abuse. I also spent a year in the Homicide Investigations Bureau there. I tried a lot of cases. And then I was already living in Westchester. And then I became a member of Jeanine Pirro's Domestic Violence and Child Abuse and Sex Crimes Bureau in Westchester. I worked there for several years, tried a lot of cases with probably members of every law enforcement department in this county. And then in 2005, I spent a year in China teaching at a couple of universities there about American due process and legal reform.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the China experience, but before we do, let's get back to the your time in the DA's office. The domestic violence unit was Jeanine Pirro's hallmark thing. What was that like working for her at that time, and what kind of experiences did you have?
It was a great experience. Working for Jeanine Pirro gave me tremendous opportunities at a young age to try very serious cases. I spent several years almost daily in the integrated domestic violence part, which is a criminal part in Westchester that deals with domestic violence cases from around the county. I handled them from sometimes going out to meet the victims at the crime scene to taking them to trial at the end of the day.
Did Jeanine Pirro, are you seeking her, by the way, have you had any discussions with her since you've decided to run?
Through other people. I know she's very busy with her TV show, but a lot of people who are currently working for her are helping me with my campaign and A couple of them actually came to one of my fundraisers,
Uh-huh.
and members of her staff that are no longer at the DA's office are also helping me with my campaign.
Are you seeking her endorsement? Is she going to be...
I know that she can't officially endorse anybody because she has a contract with Fox News where she can't do political endorsements, but I believe she's supportive in general of my candidacy. I know I had a great relationship with her when I was a prosecutor there.
Did you read her book?
I did.
Yeah. There was a rumor going around that people had to buy it in the inner office.
That was not true.
Yeah, no. But you went out and bought it. Did you get it autographed?
I did. I have it autographed. I actually had it autographed from my mother, so my mother has it.
Oh, okay. Did she inscribe it?
She did. She did.
Okay. She did mine too.
And what did she write on yours?
She wrote on mine, you know who I'd like to punish. And so it's true.
And she didn't get to accomplish that before she left office.
No, thank God. We have a caller already? All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll take this call. We will be taking calls here at 914-636-0110. And then, buddy, you can ask your question.
Okay.
But, you're on the air with Dan Schor. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I have a question for the DA candidate, we'll call him. My name's Sue. I'm a retired New York City police lieutenant. I have a lot of friends in the county who are police officers, and one thing I continually hear from them is how upset they are with the current DA, their working relationship with her. There's been a lot of high-profile cases that they feel that she's mishandled, but it's not just that. It's just a general uncooperative relationship that they have, and I would like to know what this candidate would do differently to improve that relationship.
Does that sound like somebody you know, Dan?
No.
Okay, that's a good question. We're going to get to that. Do you want to answer that now?
I talk with a lot of police officers from around the county who are frustrated. I know one problem they have is the DA's office isn't doing a lot of investigations the way they used to do them, and a lot of police officers are taking cases to the federal prosecutors instead of the DA's office because they feel there's not the same kind of aggressiveness that there used to be.
You were critical specifically about the way you think you charge that she takes slam dunk cases and the more difficult ones are not handled. But you also mentioned that you thought she mishandled some cases, including the Irma Marquez case.
Right.
Do you want to talk about that? Why was that?
There's a couple of very important things about the Irma.
You should give some background on that.
Irma Marquez was a woman in Yonkers who, first of all, let me say that I've worked with a lot of Yonkers police members who are excellent cops. Many of them are, they risk their lives for sometimes, especially early in their career, for little pay, and they are great. There's Irma Marquez was a woman who was seen on a security camera tape being body slammed by one police officer. She was prosecuted by the Westchester District Attorney's Office for obstructing governmental administration and also for disorderly conduct. Now, the key to that case is that this video was in the possession of the District Attorney's Office before she was put on trial. And Irma Marquez's attorney, Gary Surdin, says that he actually spoke with Janet DeFiore herself and told her about this video before Irma Marquez was put on trial. When she's asked about that, she doesn't address that. And I think that's one of the big questions that Janet DeFiore should answer. Did she really know about the existence of this videotape before she put Irma Marquez on trial? She's apologized for the prosecution. She talks in very passive voice. Mistakes were made. My office has made changes, but never about what she knew.
By the way, we should also mention that we will have Janet DeFiore on the air too, because we have to do equal time. So we will certainly invite her on, and she's been on the show before.
Yes, she has been a guest before, right.